In 1975, two friends and visionaries, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, set up shop in a garage making blue box phone breakers so people can make free calls nationwide. A year later, with very little resources, Wozniak created the first Apple computer called the Apple I. Wozniak didn't think much of it at the time, but when Jobs saw it, he knew that they had to run with it. So they both quit their jobs and founded Apple Computers in 1976 alongside Ronald Wayne, who sold his 10% share in the company 12 days later for $500. And the reason for the name Apple? Well, Steve Jobs worked in an apple orchard in Oregon from time to time, and so he proposed the name Apple. So despite the Apple I not having a keyboard or a screen, it still generated enough sales for them to work on their next computer, the Apple II. The Apple II had a color graphic and a keyboard that made it much easier to use. The new design was a huge hit and sales hit $200 million after 2 years. But the following years were not as good. Jobs hired Pepsi CEO at the time, John Sculley, to become Apple's new CEO. And the Apple III and Apple Lisa failed to live up to expectations. Then Steve Jobs was fired and Apple was on the decline. Meanwhile, Jobs started a new computer company called Next, and he also started Pixar. In a few years, Apple saw their mistake, bought out Next Computers, and got Steve Jobs back as the CEO. But even with Jobs, the company was still underperforming, and in 1997, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy. And guess who saved them with the $150 million investment? Bill Gates and Microsoft. The following year in '98, Apple released the iMac and steady profits began to come. Over the next decade, Apple would release a series of revolutionary and world-changing products. Today, Apple employs more than 90,000 people and is worth more than $900 billion. And that's how Apple started. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me on Instagram at AustinDanielPatry.